just like I put this picture up for the video cover. And I went and did a little Google surfing. Joe Biden, Air Force One. Could not find any pictures of Joe Biden getting in the Air Force One. Now, Biden could have gotten the Air Force One with Obama. It would have been a 10-year-old picture, but 15-year-old picture, whatever. And then I did pictures of Joe Biden being protected by Marines, Joe Biden's Secret Service. It's just not there. It's just not there. And then you see these pictures, where Biden is sitting in an Oval Office look-alike, but there's a parking lot behind the windows. Now look, guys, first and foremost, AI could be just allowing for or making that stuff just to drive people like us crazy, to keep us right-winged and to keep us in this conspiracy mode, and so they can develop this hate agenda around those types of people, who don't believe that Biden is a lawful president. And from what I have seen, Biden is not the lawful president of anything, even the corporation. So the question is the corporation bankrupt? The answer is HJR 192. The question is how long has it been in bankruptcy? A long time. But this country's been in debt since day one. This country was developed into debt. The men of the past in 1791, I've seen the first congressional books, they got a loan right away, even though this country was rich. They didn't have the wherewithal to print paper money and make people believe it was worth anything, like they do today. So this country's been in debt day one, and then they went through all the assets of the nation, converted it to a corporation. Banks got in and started leveraging it. Banks created the Federal Reserve Act. You got to read the book Jekyll Island. And banks made us the surety, the collateral, if you're a United States citizen, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. So we're here now, and it's liquidation time. Liquidation of the assets of a bankrupt corporation. Who's the largest holder of the assets? China. I've been saying this for years. I'm not trying to toot my own horn right now, but I've been saying this for years. You don't want to be there as a surety or a debtor when China comes to collect. Now, it can be total conspiracy why China has 60 million unlived in units, ghost. People want to say it was a hyperinflated bubble they were trying to do, just create this presence of large building. Building is great in China, and they just made 60 million extra places in cities called the Ghost Cities. Go YouTube Ghost Cities China and watch that for a minute, and then ask yourself, do you think China would be doing that? Basically, the smartest nation in the world outside of us would be allowing for that, or does China plan hundreds of years in the future? And we're in the stage of technology right now where it's not invasion, like John has been saying, it's infiltration. And we have been infiltrated to the highest degrees of every level across this world. China is really the military, structural, technology enforcement for the bad guys. And the United States corporation went along with it for a long time. But the people weren't ready, really, at that point over the last 100 years to give up our sovereignty or our unalienable rights or our guns or our freedoms or whatever. Everybody else in every other part of the world have been treated so horribly and put back in lines and beaten, and that they're just used to it. Not an American. We're not used to it. Now, why is this so critical? Because we're in this movie and we're being told, and just hear me out. Q looks like AI if you look at it from a movie standpoint. Like what it says. like it's playing out like it's a computer in the background, playing on our fears, our emotions, our hopes, our dreams, giving us tidbits, making us decipher things. I mean, it is. Not
I
saying
don't
it's
see
not.
it that way.
I know
I don't see it like that.
I'm not saying it's real, John. I'm just saying it looks like AI, period. I know you don't because you know it a lot better than me. You know it a lot better than me. But for me...
Well, just like that one conversation we had when I was driving from Pico Rivera to north, I asked you to go to the search engine and type in DARPA, right? And that's just an example, and your reaction to that spoke volumes. You're like, holy crap, right? And so if you go to qpost.online and you just type in the word DARPA, you're going to find a lot of information that who knew? I didn't know. I don't think anybody knew. I mean, this information is detailed. So for Tory to say that that it's not real, what part isn't real? Okay, so then I'll rewind to a conversation I had with my mom, which I've mentioned several times. Talking to Jane and my mom, we went, we used to go out to eat all the time, and what we talked about is what would be the purpose of the deep state launching Q against the people, right? What would be the purpose of 2.5 million stories being written about Q at this point, right? What's happening?
Or suppressed, or
In other words, wait a second before you conclude anything.
I'm not concluding. I'm with you on this. I'm just trying to tell you that anytime a nation doesn't want you to have information, they'll come against it. They'll suppress it. They'll take it off social media. They'll line themselves against it. So something is valid about Q.
Yeah. Okay. So there's controlled opposition within Q too, because of people that develop the large audiences, and maybe that's the part that Tori was talking about. I don't know, but I don't like the way she said it. I haven't liked her tone for the last week, and so when that happens, when my filter or my inner being